Alright, today we're going to be looking at coordinate transformations. I'll just run through the different types that we've got. So our first one is a translation. So this little video is going to be on translating coordinates. So we first up in our step here is that we've got to put our coordinates into our little table here. And the important trick to remember there is we want to work out how far left and right we've gone on the x-axis for each point and how far left, up and down we've gone for the y-axis. So for my point here, A, I'm -2 on the x-axis. That's how far I've gone to the left. So I've got -2. And then I am up 2 on the y-axis. So my point is also up 2 here. So, and hopefully we're pretty familiar with this. So I'll just fill in my points here. B is 2 on the x-axis. C is 0 on the x-axis. And D is -4 on the x-axis. You can do them one at a time, or you can do them like this. I'm just doing it like this way because it makes it easier because I don't have to swap pens. So B is 2, and we can see here that both my points are the same height, so they're going to be the same in the y-axis, but different in the x-axis. And actually, we can also see that both of these points are 4 points apart in the x and the same height. So this one's -2. And it's sort of one of the ways that you can make these a little bit easy for yourself and to check how you're going is to check that sort of symmetry stuff. So that when we translate this, because we're going to move each point up and then maybe across or whatever we're going to do to it in a second, my shape is going to remain the same. So I know that after I translate it, A and B better be at the same height, D and C better be at the same height. And both these points are also, after I translate it, still going to be separated by 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So that's sort of what I want you to think when you think whether you've done it right. Hopefully we can tell when we draw it in as well that we will still have exactly the same shape. It'll have just moved around on us. Alright. Now it's asking me to translate 3 units down and 2 units to the right. So how do I write this as something I'm going to add to either one of my columns or take on? So 3 units down means that I'm changing my y column. So I'm not doing anything to my x just with 3 units down, but I'm going to go 3 down, which means -3. So I'm going to go from, if I was this point here, I'd go from here, 1, 2, 3 down. That's what would happen to me. And that's what it looks like in coordinate form. Now let's see what we do to the x. 2 units to the right. So 2 units to the right is adding on 1, 2. So I'd be going 1 over this way, 2 over this way. So C will now be here. And to write that out, I would go 2. That's what that means. So I've gone +2 to the right, and just for that single transformation there. So this is what it looks like to do 2 to the right. This is what it looks like to do -3 or going down 3. I'll put those two things together, and I'm going to get 2, -3. Happy days. And now I just have to do this to each of my points. So I've worked out what I'm adding to each of my points. So I'm now going to write that out. I've got -2, 2, and then I'm going to add 2, -3 to it. And what does that look like? Well, actually, let's rewrite that as -2 + 2 from this part here, comma, we go back into purple there, 2 -3. And then I work out what does that equal. And so I'm going to have -2 + 2, which equals 0, and -2 2 -3 equals -1. That's the new location of my point. And then I do the same for the next. This time I've got 2 from here, and then I'm going to add another 2, comma, what am I doing to my y point? I'm starting at 2, and then I'm minusing 3. -3, and that'll give me my new points of 4, comma, -1. So I can see I'm at the same height, and I'm in the y-axis, so I'm at -1 in the y-axis, and I'm actually 4 apart in the x-axis, so that matches up with what we said earlier. Alright, let's fly through the rest of these. So we've got 0 plus 2 equals 2, and minus 2 minus 3 equals minus 5. I know I'm going to be at the same height, so I'm just going to put that down there, minus 5 on my next point. And I'm going to be minus 4 plus 2 equals minus 2. So that's my next point there. So now I've got these points here. These are my new points. Yeah, 0 minus 1, 4 minus 1, 2 minus 5, minus 2 minus 5. All right, so let's draw them in. I think that's the next copy of the Cartesian book in your book. Draw the points A, B, C, D. All right, so A is now at 0 minus 1. So here's 0 in the x-axis and minus 1 in the y. So that's my new spot for A. Put A there. B is at 4 on the x, minus 1 on the y. So 4 on the x and minus 1 on the y. So I go across 4, down 1, minus 1. So that's B. We're at the same height. We're separated by 4. C is now at 2 minus 5. So this point here is now at 2 on the x-axis and minus 5. So it's down here. And D is now at minus 2 and minus 5. So minus 2, minus 5 there. So we've got C, D, and I can join them all together, and I've got the same shape. There's the same different distance between my points, and I've got, there we are. With the help of the points drawn, from redraw the entire parallelogram after it's been translated. Beautiful. So that's my before and after there. That is how you translate coordinates. If you want to check to see how you've gone, you can see that we've translated 3 units down and 2 units to the right. So let's have a look at where we ended up. And all my points, this is the same bit. So I've gone 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 2 units to the right, 1, 2. D is now here. I can do the same thing, 3 down, 2 to the right, 3 down, 2 to the right. All my points are in the right spot. That's my check. All right, thank you.